Here now with more on the cybersecurity implications of the conflict. Fox News contributor Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg is with us, along with Indiana Congressman Michael Waltz. General, let me start with you, and I want to look at the military might and give you the comparisons, because the numbers are very real here. If you look at the total number of armed forces in Russia, they've got 900,000. Ukraine has 209,000. Russia, 2 million reserves. Ukraine, less than 1 million. Tanks, artillery, Army attack helicopters, armored personnel carriers, naval combat ships, patrol boat combatants, Air Force planes. I mean, it is a wipeout. There's no way militarily that Ukraine can compete with the might of Russia. I don't see NATO militarily getting involved, and I'm not even calling for them to do so. They're not a member of NATO. But this is going to be a wipeout. I don't see any way that they can stop what Putin's ambitions are here. Do you?
Well, no, because I think it's overwhelming force. But look, Sean, you know, I've always believed it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. And you're seeing Ukraine really fight back hard. And it's really impressive what they're doing. And you've got to give them credit. They're basically standing up by themselves against the entire Russian army, because that's what they're facing. He's arrayed almost 80% of his army on the ground. He's got a massive air defense, missile batteries, all coming at Ukraine, and they're standing tall. Look, Zelensky is still in Kiev. He's not leaving. He's staying there to fight it out. So regardless of what happens, I would say Ukraine, well done. And I don't think Putin has got the distance to be able to take all of Ukraine. He may try to take the eastern one-third, but I'm beginning to think, even though we're only into the second act of a multi-act play, I think he's got a problem.
We have on the screen right now the map of the areas of Ukraine that's gotten bombed. It's the entire country. So why is he going after the whole country if he only wants a small part of Ukraine? I don't believe that. That map, well, I think shows that I'm right.
Well, Sean, he's trying to create more problems for Zelensky to handle. And you do that. You give him multiple problems, and then you can't handle them all. He's going against the whole country, but his primary effort, as Bill pointed out, was to the north, to the east, and to the south. And if you look at the Dnieper, which is a really dividing line, that's kind of where he's going right now. But he's got to watch out that he's not overextended, he being Putin. He doesn't have the ability, I believe, to go all the way to the west without overextending his supply lines and his military support structure. He may have bitten off more than he can chew.
But he's got more money than he's ever had because Joe Biden artificially reduced the world supply of oil, and he's been the major beneficiary of that. And in fact, it's our allies that have been purchasing billions of dollars worth of oil. Congressman, let me go to you, if I may. There was, if you will, a manifesto written by Vladimir Putin. It was published on July 12th that stated all of his intentions here. There's no surprise. He doesn't even recognize Ukraine as a country. Yet there are still some people that seem surprised by what has gone on here in the areas that he is attacking. I give a lot of credit to the resistance in Ukraine. Could we have a situation like the Mujahideen when Russia was fighting Afghanistan in the 80s and we provided the Mujahideen with Stinger missiles that helped neutralize Russia's military might? Possible. I don't know what that equipment would be in this particular case. Do you?
Yeah, Sean, you know, I've served as a Green Beret. We specialize in insurgency and counterinsurgency, and we've seen how most of the Western world has struggled with countering insurgencies the last 20 years. So what President Biden should have been doing and should do now is make it very clear that we will continue to provide lethal aid to an ongoing Ukrainian resistance, sniper rifles, IEDs, secure communications, the things that they will need to bog Putin down and bog the Russian army down in these large cities with urban warfare. It's only when he and his oligarchs and his generals believe that this can turn into another Chechnya or another Afghanistan and be bad for him domestically, do I think we're going to slow him down, because he's not going to stop with Ukraine. If this is easy, like it was in 2014 under Obama, Biden then in Crimea and the Donbass. He's going to continue. The crown jewels are Belarus. He already has that. Ukraine, he's taking that. And then next are the Baltics, which are NATO allies.
Okay,
and one more
stop
point,
right there,
Sean, on the energy piece.
There's one big difference. You get to the Baltics, and now we're talking about a NATO alliance.
That's
Joe
right.
Biden very specifically today talked about Article 5. If they attack one, they attack all. Do you believe that NATO has the will and the willingness to do it and stand up to what that organization said and pledged to stand up for? Because I'm not so sure.
Well, so far, I'm not
nothing.
so sure either, to be candid. So far, Joe Biden has been all bark and no bite. Everything he's provided has been too little, too late. So I have no expectation that he would do any better in terms of deterrence when it comes to those countries. Each one of them have Russian enclaves. Putin is already pumping his propaganda in there, whether it's Estonia, Latvia, or Lithuania. And he has said that not only is he going to reconstitute the old Soviet Union, but he's pulling his ethnic Russian brethren back into the fold. That's the ideological justification. And as long as he has Europe dependent on his oil and gas, which, by the way, is some of the dirtiest in the world, so the environmental argument doesn't even hold up, then he's got checkmate. And also, Sean, the United States has doubled its imports of Russian oil and gas in just the last year. So Biden's creating a dependency here, and I don't think he can turn that off.
The rhetoric is hauntingly similar in terms of what Putin is saying about the Baltics. It sounds exactly like what Putin was saying about Ukraine leading up to this. We will see, though. Time will tell. Thank you both for being with us. General Kellogg, thank you. Congressman, thank you.